Life is short.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. It is. Too short, TK. Brooks. Did I tell y'all TK got a movie out? He's starring in it, partially nude. So watch yourself.
Hey, you're in the movie too, man.
I'm not nude in the movie.
Well, that's what the sequel's for.
Well, we'll see what happens. The Academy calls. You know. Cameraman Mike will be there to film it all. Who's cameraman Mike? So Milo, what's next?
What's next is, I think Dana's lost because he's trying to call me right now.
Did you answer?
No, I'm talking
Put him on speaker. Where are you? Dana Snyder, get here. Right now, Master Shake. I can call him too. Let's both go. Oh, I don't have my phone. Damn it. Space Ghost is watching my phone while that charge is behind him.
All right, they're taking you over? Okay.
I'm taking him over. He's made so much money, he can't carry it all. So they have to get a couple of suitcases.
All right. He's on his way. On his way. All right. See you.
To bring him and all his thousands that he's already made here today.
So, all right, you see Frylock on that first episode, and were you like, there is no way this is lasting?
No, it wasn't that. I was actually stoked to be a cartoon character's voice. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how big it was going to be. Nobody did. But I was just stoked just to be a part of something that was going to be on TV. And my agent was like, now you and your old lady can buy a car. And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Hello, Carey.
Hello.
I went to the wrong room. I don't know what's that.
Snyder. He went to the wrong room. I started running the panel in the wrong room. It was a big hit.
But it was fantastic what we did do over there. And Godzilla guy.
Please share with us what you did. Tell us what you did over there.
I sat there with my thumb up my ass saying where I thought he was supposed to roll. It was unexciting.
Well, I hope you watched it.
I couldn't figure out what was going on here. But now I figured out they got it because of Omicron or whatever, right? The seats, I mean, like nobody's friends. Right?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to take this out? You're filming, like it's going to be...
That's the theme of Central Florida Comic Con is nobody's friends.
All right. Get over that. But I just feel like if you, like I saw, we went to Disney World yesterday, right? Don't film that. Cut that part out. All right?
Cameraman Mike is on the case.
The guy, camera and the picture guy, but they're the same exact angle. No difference of angle. It's going to be all the same. There's the still and the... But there are like some people walk around with no mask on because you can take it off outside. But then everybody who had no mask on, they all walk like this. Like they are just like miserable. Like if you take, that's fine, you take it off. Smile. Get the biggest smile anybody's ever seen. It's like you take it off like... Yeah, I mean, you're at Disney World. Everybody hates Disney World up, and you can tell they're all like, I spent $8,000 to ride the Snow White roller coaster, and I hate. Sorry, were there questions?
Yeah, have you ever heard of this show called Aqua Hunger Force?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
They had 2 seasons, and then it was no longer called that, right, Carey? Did you get it yesterday?
I got it last night.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Really late. Couldn't even set up. And we had a horrible dinner. No, it was a great dinner.
Where was it?
It was at the Harry's Seafood in downtown Lakeland.
Harry's Seafood.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute, because I saw 2
Harry's
signs.
Seafood and Bar.
I saw 2 signs here. One that said downtown Lakeland, and then another one right under it said historic downtown.
Ooh.
Like, which means like, you know, yeah.
I don't think we were in the
Bugsy
historic.
Siegel threw up on the sidewalk or something like, it's just the historic portion of downtown.
Maybe we were. I don't know. It was a live band playing. They were playing a Prince song that
That was awesome.
we recognized immediately it was a Prince song. It was cool. They were down there
They had a
rocking.
Prince t-shirt. This place was like made for you. Like DuPont Labs was like, I gotta make a thing for it.
He thinks Paisley Park is here. So they told him.
It's
You know,
not.
when you're big enough, Paisley Park is everywhere. There's nowhere.
That's right.
That's what I was.
Around the world in a day, baby.
Did you ever go? You didn't get to go there.
No.
Because the time.
When we were in Minnesota, we
yeah.
did a Crypticon show in Minnesota a few months ago. The plan was to get some folks together, wake them up at the butt crack of dawn on Sunday morning to go to Paisley Park and take the tour, and then run back in time for the show to open. That was a bit much. So the promoter was like, "Next time you come."
Yeah. And we made this plan at like 1:30 in the bar. So it was like
drinks were had,
the more
plans were
drinks
made.
we're having, the better and more feasible the plan. Like, why go at 9 a.m.? Why don't we go at 6 a.m.?
Yes.
Let's go tonight. Let's just climb the fence. It got yeah.
Until I found out I had to pay for the damn thing, and I was like, well, you know.
Yeah. This
We'll
guy
do it next time.
pay to see some guy's house.
Yeah.
He's not even living there anymore. Come on.
Take a tour, print, and then they won't let you see the good rooms.
Yeah, you
Where
can't
all the good
see
stuff
it. Like, oh,
happens.
here's the entryway. Like, okay. So here's like.
I got this black light. Can I go in Princess bedroom? No!
Yeah.
You can't go in Princess bedroom with black light.
I want to
Never
know.
lived
Yeah, I want
there.
to see where like Prince was hanging out, not where like the guy from the power department came and had to stand for 5 minutes to go put the cable box in or whatever. I want to see the real stuff. See, this is.
I think you should virtually have people tour your house, Dan, where you live in fancy Tinseltown.
That's why I am transient. I live everywhere I go. I sold my house, sold everything, just living in Comic Cons now. My home right now is the Hyatt Place.
That's a good spot.
Leonard is the night clerk. I can tell you that. He'll always give you a bag of ice because he said, and I believe him very much. I wouldn't trust the upstairs ice maker if I was you. And I don't know what that means. But I sure as hell am never going to trust that upstairs ice maker.
Well, I'm on the 5th floor, so is he talking about the 5th floor ice maker?
I'm on the 4th floor, so the fifth one's
You'll be upstairs.
Well, I don't know if it's like a drip down situation from the 5th floor, maybe, or like what's happening. But
I don't trust the 5th floor ice machine.
No, the 5th floor.
I gotta go see Leonard.
Yeah, go see Leonard. He's great.
I think you saw Leonard last night, didn't you? Paid $12 for those snacks.
That could be.
Got like 2 cookies and thing.
What time was it?
1.
It was after 1.
Oh, okay, that's definitely Leonard. Like a slender black man.
Yeah.
You know, I think last night he had an orange plaid shirt on.
That's him.
Leonard made one hell of an impression on you, didn't he?
This is my roommate. I mean, I'm living in. This is my house.
Okay.
Of course I know the people I live with.
All right.
Yeah, we're slides. Like,
So Milo's got a question for you.
There's a mommy and a daddy.
It's
When they
in
really love
relation-
each other, it feels like a sneeze, a wonderful sneeze. You
He
know
wants to know about your audition for Master Shake. Everybody wants to know how that went,
Nobody wants to know.
or how that came about.
Did you audition?
Yes. That's my friend who went to high school with Dave Willis. I went to college with, and he called her up because they had been auditioning people, but they didn't know what they wanted. So they didn't know what they wanted, but everybody who was auditioning for that part was doing like a superhero voice. And he said the one we heard so far that we liked, the closest of what we want was he was doing like a Christopher Walken impersonation. And they were like, that was sort of like the closest. But then he called Ashley and said, do you know anybody in New York who would be good for this part? And she said, what is he supposed to sound like? And she said, or Dave Willis said, he should sound like his mouth writes checks his body can't cash. And she said, call my friend Dave. That's exactly what. And then I left it. My friend Dave Roberts came into town. We went to Brews, which is the bar across the street on 34th Street. We had pepper steaks. We had lots of drinks. And then 1 o'clock, the elephants went down 34th Street because when the circus came to town, the train yard is in Queens, but they would take the big animals off the train and through the Midtown Tunnel and down 34th Street, past the Empire State. I mean, you would talk about the most surreal. I mean, I know this is Florida. There's always crazy shit here. Right? This is baby tops where it equals. Oh, Eric. Oh, okay. I didn't recognize you without your mask. I didn't know you. Okay. I didn't recognize you without Tom and Jerry on your face. He's Italian. We're Italian, so we can talk to him too. But yeah, we saw the elephants go, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to do this audition for this thing. I don't understand what it is. Like he's a cop and something. And it was like you know, this wasn't like the internet's like zooming fast where I could download some 80 gigabyte movie in 12 seconds. This was like, you know, you get on and like the phone call starts. You know, like you hear the phone modem going, like get on, and then your sister picks up the phone and kicks you off the internet, and you still got like 5 minutes to download this photo of whatever. So it took a long time. I had to do it over I couldn't download the. Is this the question you asked?
Yes.
And we're out of time. No. I did it. I left it as a voicemail message on his phone in his office. They listened in the morning. They're like, perfect, fantastic. And then he was about to play it for the boss, and he accidentally erased it. For Lazo, right? And then he's like, can you call back and do it again? So I did it at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, man. This didn't quite sound the same. And I'm like, I wonder if the fact I had 17 less bass pints this time affected. But I was like, all right, can I do it later?
Let's not forget those elephants.
Yeah, and the elephants. And one year, my friend worked for Ringling Brothers, and one year in the Midtown Tunnel, so there's like circus folk all around Florida here, right? It's like circus, this is like wintering, this invented it, right? I mean, that's like where they go, what is it, Haines City, is that what it's called? Haines City's where the circus, where Ringling Brothers used to winter?
Arizona.
I'd say, yeah, and like Lobster Boy and all that stuff, right? Right? Like all the circus guys, you know what I'm talking about? You should read up on this. You'd be like, wow, I love living in Florida now. I got this big history. Forget historic downtown over there. Go to the Lobster Boy killed his wife's lover or something like that. But all he has little claws. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's 100% real, and it's better than any movie at your Gigaplex. It's like, what? He's like, yeah, he crawled into the, like, what do you mean he crawled? Like, well, he just has little flippers. He's Lobster Boy. He's got a claw, like, guy can't walk, and he still murdered another, like, a fully, you know, developed, you're like, yep, still did it. Because he was blind, hot with rage. So blinding hot.
And that is how he got
That's how I got it. Yeah.
for Master Chef. Lobster Boy had to be mentioned.
You're dropping off like that. But yeah, my friend so there's some guys in the circus, he was in the circus, and there's some guys in the circus where they go out of town or out of the country, like go to Mexico, or they go to certain cities, they'll suddenly notice the one person is not there. You're like, where's Tony? Oh, Tony can't go to New York City. Because you know, a lot of these guys, like, they're paid in cash, they're practically drifters. You know, they're like roustabouts, so they help put the tent up and stuff. They're doing like the blunt force trauma of the circus work. But they're all, like, they're probably all criminals who have, you know, like a long history with, like, no, he doesn't go to Gary.
It's like the restaurant industry in Atlanta.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's like it's a job you can sort of be under the radar.
Might be a felon, but you know, we need a dishwasher.
Yeah, and they're all great guys. They hate the circus. All right, that's okay. Another circus hater. All right, fine. You're missing the good part, boy. You're getting a chapter 2 of Lasagna Lady and Lobster Boy. Yeah, but the one guy that were in the tunnel and a camel started kicking up and pinned him against the wall of the Midtown Tunnel, but the camels were the very last animals, so no one knew he was like being pinned against the wall and almost died by just about, how did he die? Died doing being pinned against the wall by a camel in the Midtown Tunnel under the East River in New York City. Like the craziest, like I thought that sad, like the saddest thing was that Bob Saget, like, and it said, died in a hotel room in Orlando. I was like, oh, I know worse. But
no, what was worse is there was no alcohol and drugs in this system.
Yeah.
No hookers or nothing. And
he was late, supine,
I just thought he was in a pit of debauchery. You know, that's how to go, right? You know.
I wanted like that, how the room looked in that Denzel Washington movie when he was the pilot. You know, and he grabs that little booze bottle, and then the next day it looks like a tornado. Like alcoholic Tasmanian devil was in there. So that's how I got the part. Rest is history.
Are we going to open up the floor for questions now? I think
We can. Does anybody have questions out there?
Yes, sir. You, sir.
So is the story about the one episode true that Turner said he canceled the show with that
That who said?
Ted Turner?
Oh,
I guarantee you.
What episode are you referring to?
It's one that never aired.
So the Boston.
Boston.
Episode. The Boston episode.
I'm going to give you $1 million if you can prove that Ted Turner even knows what our show is. Let alone is so concerned that he would say, I will cancel the show. He's walking around like he's like, hey man, what's on Aqua Teen Hunger Force tonight? My favorite show. Colorizing movies and watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Me, billionaire Ted Turner, running the steakhouses, colorizing movies. I love Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I actually saw him downtown,
Really?
standing at a stoplight, getting ready to go across the CNN building.
And he was like, Carey!
No, and I was eating.
Frylock, who was on that last episode?
I was eating a bag of peanuts, and I wanted to hit him in the head with peanuts and tell him where my money is, man. My check is late again. But the big black security guy that was next to him made me think twice.
Didn't look like a peanut
It's
lover.
like, no, I'm not going to throw any peanuts at Ted Turner today.
Yeah, they would send you an invoice. You'd have to invoice them, and then they would give you one that said must be paid in 30 days. Never paid in 30 days. Lucky if it was 90 days.
That's really
They
what
still
it
don't
was.
like that.
And I was talking to them earlier about the right to work, because Florida is a right to work state as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
About the right to work thing in Georgia. And if you didn't know, there's new Aqua Teen episodes coming.
10 or 12, right?
They're going to be 6-minute shorts. It's not just going to be Aqua Teen. It's going to be like some of the side villains like the Moonanites and the frat aliens.
Ham Banana.
Yeah, Ham Banana.
I think there's 2 with Ham Banana in it.
And new movie coming as well. Just like the Venture Brothers and Metalocalypse have a new flick coming out. So
The movie's going to be spectacular.
the movie is going to be ginormous, colossal, huge, humongous.
It's off-brand for Aqua Teen Hunger Force because there's like a 25-minute segment that is a actual, real balls to the wall, like an action segment, like a big blockbuster, like the feel of a big blockbuster movie. And you're seeing the Aqua Teens perform in a way that is very off-brand, meaning effective and action-packed. And you're like, wait a minute. He's like, yeah, don't worry, they'll fail eventually. But for this moment, our little fantasy of seeing them like be badasses and
Even Carl gets to be.
it's very fulfilling. And then they go back to being inept, so you're like, okay, but I can sleep tonight. I know they're not going to be like, but wait a minute, does that mean they're awesome now? Like, no, they're still idiots, but they just go. It's like they got possessed for 20 minutes of being effective.
You'll love it. You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll wet your pants.
Yeah, Gabe and Matt are they were always unpleased with the first movie because they were doing a whole season and they said they want you to do a movie too, so they wrote it in like 4 minutes. But this movie they took over 9 minutes to write, so it's very good.
Everyone thought out.
Yeah, they were both writing two pages at a time, so they could write a 90-page script in 9 minutes.
Did you think that in 2022, or did you think that in 2000, when you were recording, I don't think the date you like that. I mean, I like the date you, but
take a number.
Listen,
I'm at the 4th floor of the
I think when recording in 2000, that in 2022 you would be talking about a new Aqua Teen movie.
I mean,
we didn't think we'd be talking about the first one. Much less the second one.
that's true, but also there's like a percentage of me that because it always was so cheap and so under the radar, I was like, oh yeah, we'll probably just do this forever, right? Like we don't ever have to stop doing this because it's so cheap.
I was trying to get some Simpson legs out of that damn show.
Yeah, I mean,
It would have been nice to get at least half the run the Simpsons have had. That'd be great.
well, we still did we still had the fact we're still doing, but I mean, we did a lot more seasons and
We did all right.
Time-wise, we ran a long time.
when they gave us the rap party, they gave us these T-shirts.
Oh yeah.
And it showed all the shows that didn't last as long.
Yeah, shows
Aqua
that
Teen.
like Dallas. Dallas is what? Where
MASH.
MASH. In your
After
face.
MASH.
Yeah.
Cosby Show. All kind of shows like this.
Too soon.
Too soon?
Yeah.
But no, it's like a lot of these shows didn't last a decade and a half. You know, like I can tell you.
Mork and Mindy in your face, Mork. Suck it, Mindy. You'll never be as powerful as Alice.
Yeah, but that was a hoot.
Now, since you recorded the shows and filmed them, did you actively watch them as well? Do you watch the stuff that you guys are in?
I don't. I have probably watched all the episodes, maybe, but it wasn't like, oh, bowl of popcorn, like, 11:15, then go. Have you watched all of them?
Probably at some point.
Yeah, I feel
Seen
like
them all.
I watched
You know, they started changing the name.
Yeah,
of the show,
I always
theme
watch the
song.
openings. I like watching when it was like a new opening. But then, like, to watch a show like I don't particularly care for the artwork style of it. I'm like, I want a cartoon. I want like that like fox with like the lady with the boobs and like his eyes bugged. I want like super cartoony. You know what I mean? Like Tex Avery. I remember seeing like, kind of like just a regular background of a house. Not very exciting.
Yeah, but you were Granny on Squidbillies too.
Yeah, I like the look of
too.
that one. I like the look of that one. I mean, I'm sure I watch it, but like, they're just screaming again about stuff. We gotta say, we had to watch it because we lived it.
Right. Right.
I don't think I watched all of them. I'll watch the movie, and then we were doing stuff for the movie. I don't know how Dave and Matt, I mean, I do a bunch of different shows, and I don't know how any of those guys can stand, I get it, it's their work, it is work, but like, I don't know how you could stand to watch, the same episode of something 50 times. And now when it's done, like, you know what, I think we should take those 2 extra frames off of that last shot of him when he's blinking, because it's just a little like, whoa. It's like it would drive me crazy. It would drive me crazy. I'd be like, you know what, all right, I'm just going to give this to you, you can edit it, and I'll come back in like a month and I'll just watch it one more time, because if I watch it more than one more time, I will blow my brains out. I'm going to go crazy if I have to watch it more times than that. You'd be like, all right, okay.
Is there anybody in the room who has not seen Aqua Teen, but you're just here because,
Free seat. You're like, how can I want a seat, but I want to sit in a room full of people in a seat, but unable to touch anyone. I had to stretch my arms very far away. It's always been a dream of mine, kind of like a fetishy, like I just would love to be surrounded by people I can't touch.
I want to know that though. Is there anyone in this room who has not seen Aqua Teen? Really? Well, I recommend you start with Dickaso.
A forest of fan.
That is the very first episode you should watch. And yes, it is what it sounds like. Yes, follow that up with Hand Banana. If you're not hooked by then, you ain't gonna get hooked.
If you haven't thrown up by then, watch another one. There'll be more.
I did see a hand in the back though who had a question. Brown sweater. You're looking at your phone. You don't hear about us now.
Maybe it's just.
Was there a question in the back?
You got
Brown
it.
sweater.
You got it.
Yes. Smiley Friends, I haven't seen it. I'm aware of it, but
What did you think of it? I only saw the first episode. I liked it. I thought it was. I mean, I like anytime I see animation on Adult Swim more than when they do all that live action stuff. Because sometimes I think they were getting like, all right, I get it. You're friends with comedian X, and he wants to do some show that is somehow not funny, but it's on for 4 seasons. Meanwhile, we're geniuses, and we're rotting away in Lincoln, Florida. I'm not bitter about it. I'm living here now. Ask Leonard. I'm happy working, I'm smiling. It's just kids.
Question here.
that being said, so do you hate doing your pretty face?
No, I love doing your pretty face. And there's going to be new, they're doing 12 new animated shorts of that. And it's animated. And it's being animated, or at least the designs were from Christy Caracas, who is a designer of Super Jail, and he did Ball Masters, and he did he did an amazing, I think it was like his student film. Look it up. It's on YouTube called Bar Fight. That was just like this bar fight starts in a bar, and it should just be called like 1,000 Ways to Mutilate Someone, because it's just like, what's he doing with those beer bottles? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, and he pulled them back out. Interesting. It's just like a blood fest. It's insane. It's insane. But he's doing this. Yeah, but they're doing like, I think it might be 10 shorts. Probably the same way, like 6, what'd you say, they're like 6 minutes or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys done with the live action?
They had an amazing, they were going to do a special, like an hour-long special. And then we were ready, everybody was ready to go, and then like COVID. And they said, all right, we're going to wait a month. And then, you know how that goes. You know what happened there. That's why, look to your left, look to your right. See those spaces? That's because it's still going. See where the chair should be and another person sitting next to you, breathing on you? They're not. But don't you feel safe as they're 3 feet away from you, breathing on you? We were at Disney World yesterday, by the way, and they had like, we were joking about it, but they had like, you know, they let the high school kids like come with the marching band, so they like march for like 2 minutes. They're like, all right, get out of here. We gotta get Mickey Mouse back here. Get out of here, you stinky kid. But they're like all in their thing, and they're from Michigan. And we were like reading in the news, like they have like Michigan has like the highest COVID rates of anywhere. And then here's like a marching band full of thing with like bell, like a, you know, they were like the COVID high school orchestra was like just blowing it through the people. Like, and then the clarinet people are blowing it on the ground. And like, we're like, wow, they're marching just as much through the people as possible. The trumpet guys are like, do you really think about this? They should have like a little mask over their front of their trombone or whatever. Just like Michigan, my friend. Yeah, don't they have like the highest code? Like a machine to spread it around the people.
What was the question?
That was it. Oh, Dr.
There's
Who.
another question, Doctor Who.
Wait, don't say it. Don't say it. Wait. Caleb nailed it. Okay.
All right.
Please speak it. Continue.
I'm sure you guys have been asked what your best moments. I'm working on Aqua course a bit, but my question is, what would you say was your least favorite moment on the show?
All the moments we weren't working.
There's only one person that's been in every episode of Aqua TV. That's Dave Willis, co-creator.
Yeah.
If he's not Carl, he's someone else.
Yeah.
Or Nick Knight.
He's always me
Boxy Brown.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to cancel Dave because of Boxy Brown, you know, because he's the whitest white boy you ever want to meet.
Yeah.
And Boxy Brown's always something, shut out to them crackers.
Yeah.
The man, Boxy Brown, I'm a what?
They used to love making me rap. And that actually would answer your question. And I hate it because I should never be rapping.
I love it. It's great.
Well, you're good at it. I'm terrible at it, and they know
I love
I'm
that they make you rap. That's what I love.
I'm just like, really, guys? We feel going down this road again? This tired old road?
And when we did that last season, I went to the studio and Dave Willis was like, here's your part right here, Carey. These 2 little lines. I was like, oh, no. I think, now let me hear that beat one more time. So I wrote my own original.
Oh, for the last,
performed them.
the opener, right?
Yeah, the opener. It was great. I even got a music producer credit.
That was the last. Was that the last one? That was the last one they did.
It was the last season, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we had what's his name, Rick and Morty, Justin.
Yes, Justin Roiland.
He was a guest star.
He was?
That beef jerky. He was the beef jerky mascot.
Okay.
When they were moving us around like claymation characters. People I lost.
Which Henry was in, right?
And George Lowe did a hell of a Homer impersonation. I was actually in the studio where they had George on the phone patch, and he was doing his Homer shtick.
He's from around here somewhere.
Yeah, George is from Florida.
Where's he from in Florida?
Lakeland.
Lakeland?
Yeah, Lakeland.
Right here.
Yeah, he actually lives at his booth.
Ah, my neighbor.
He was,
I got a neighbor.
He said we should check out Jimbo's tonight. It's a barbecue joint.
I would
Is that
trust him.
good? Is Jimbo's good?
Okay. What do you
Crowd
got
is
there?
saying yes. But somebody knows someplace better than Jimbo's.
The separated
This
crowd.
guy's sitting here like, nah, don't go to Jimbo's.
Don't go to Jimbo's? Is it like don't use the 4th floor ice machine? Like I wouldn't trust.
All right, so where should they go tonight? Does anybody have any food recommendations?
Yeah, wait a minute. Let's say Mr. Don't go to Jimbo's, so where do we go? Wise guy.
Hooters.
There's this excellent place to
Smoky
go.
Bones. That's a good one.
Who?
Smoky Bones. That's a good one.
Smoky Bones?
Smoky Bone, too cutesy. I like the cutesy.
I don't know. I like Smoky Bone.
Like Jimbo, I trust a guy named Jimbo that he's not putting anything in his mouth that isn't delicious. And that he's like, yeah, I hang out I'm over a smoker all day. Yeah, just like some dogs running around, a couple trucks parked in their lawn. That's what.
Have you ever had boudin balls?
No. What are they, sausage balls?
The balls. The boudin ball.
What's a boudin?
It's what they named the balls.
Like boudin sausage?
There's sausage in it.
Oh. Like, provided you feed them sausage before you...
Where? It all depends on your point of sausage view.
I had in Abilene, or no, in Arrow Rock, Missouri, every year there's a turkey processing plant that they and a big farm. But then once a year in the summer they have the testicle festival, where it's turkey testicles, and then but they slice them and make them like chips. But not like potato chips, like they're like testicles. But
deep fry them and
yeah,
slice them up.
they're deep fried and they're
Give
not.
me some dipping sauce.
Yeah, they're not disgusting.
Delicious.
I mean, it's not
Arrow
like
what? Missouri?
Arrow Rock.
I'm from Missouri and I've never heard of
No,
Arrow
it's
Rock.
population 69. You know where it's closest to it is Marshall, Missouri. It's about 40 minutes
How close is
west
it to,
of Columbia.
how close is it to Lake of the Ozarks? Because if it's near there.
No, it's
I
not close
definitely
there. It's like 40 minutes northwest of Columbia.
Okay.
But it's very tough. There's an old.
Is it a town I shouldn't be in after dark?
No. In fact, if you're anywhere around there, if you're anywhere around there, run for Arrow Rock as the sun is going down.
Okay.
It's a great place.
All right, so before we wrap up, any last words to say to the fine folks here at Lakeland who some are Aqua Teen fans, some clearly aren't.
I appreciate the non-Aqua Teen fans coming in.
They didn't leave. I'm
And
impressed.
checking us out. And now you got something to go home and watch.
Yeah.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's on HBO Max. I think it's some on Hulu.
The
It's all over
movie,
YouTube. Just type in Aqua
when
Teen
the
Hunger
movie
Force.
comes out,
All
it'll
kind of
be
crap will come up.
only for sale for it's going to be on sale for 90 days. Like on whatever, iTunes or whatever you buy a movie in your house, Caleb, you know what I'm talking about. This guy, talk to Caleb if you want to know how to buy a movie in your house. But then after 90 days, it'll be on HBO Max. And the same thing with the Venture Brothers movie, because that'll probably be out after the Aqua Teen one. But I did record for it. Oh, yes. Yes.
What's going to be the timeline for the movie?
Of the Aqua,
Yeah, I mean, like, what is it going to do?
It's going to be a
now.
standalone.
Right.
It's a standalone
No,
film. It's
but-
not a sequel to the
But
first
but no, like, how many years ago did the last episode?
2016.
There you go. I mean, it starts like today. Like, what have they been doing since the last episode?
Right.
It does not ignore the past, but it's like,
Doesn't necessarily
figure
mention
out,
it either.
you will see what they've been doing
There's some
since
throwback
2016.
stuff mentioned.
Right.
You'll
Yeah.
get it. You'll get it. It's definitely worth a look.
Yeah, it's
Is that the same with the 6 Minute Ladies, the short episodes?
Oh, the short episodes definitely reference the past a lot. So
Yeah,
I dig that.
they may be just more random, like, here's an episode with the frat aliens and what they're doing, you know. It's all little revisits.
Yeah.
But I don't think the shorts are necessarily like, other than it's the universe, but like they're directly like, you have to watch them in order or the movie will make no sense.
No, they not.
Like, it's none of this, like those people like, nah, actually, Revenge of the Jedi should be watched first, and then you watch the New Hope backwards, and like I watched some guy on YouTube, look at this guy. This guy's talking for 3 hours about what order to watch the Star Wars movies in. And I was like, dummy, just watch them. Who cares? Like, no, but it's Han Solo to follow his path through the, like, get out of here. Just leave. You're not even allowed to watch Star Wars. And now they're making more stuff. This guy's head's probably exploded. Like, The Mandalorian, no.
Yes, you, sir.
Speaking of Star Wars, The Mandalorian, will we be seeing any of Jabba the Hutt in the Book of Boba Fett?
Well, you know. No comment. They did show his cousin. Did you see that when they showed his cousin? I play, in a Star Wars thing, I played Jabba the Hutt's cousin, Jabba the Hutt. In our book,
Give us a little bit of that, Carey.
okay, close your eyes. We're getting ready to be transported to another. Hey, it's me, Jabba the Hutt.
And on that note, thank you very
Huts
much.
don't talk like that.
I know. Go figure.
You're a Hutt.
I'm a Hutt. The guy would get mad because when we would record it, it was Lego, Disney, Star Wars. So there's a Lego guy, a guy from Lego, from Denmark, a guy from Star Wars, a guy from Disney, and then like they each had 2 people with them. There's all these people in the booth recording it. But there was also the guy from Lucasfilm who held the Necronomicon that was like every single thing they ever talk about in any Star Wars store. Like, so if they, like, lightsaber, okay, so there's kyber crystal, like every detail of everything. But they would have me improvise all the time, and then, so if I would say like, all right, yeah, no, I'm sorry about that, I just got back from Rabulac 7, and then this guy would go like, oh shit, I gotta write Rabulac 7 in this book. Because it's like a part of the, like, if they used it, it's a part of the Star Wars thing now. And this guy hated me. And I was like, I don't know. It's like, you know what's in there now? Because you know what I had to put in there? Space pencil. Because you said somebody hand me a space pencil. You think Han Solo's carrying around a space pencil? Yeah, maybe he is. And now it's in the book. So don't tell me there's no space pencil. I tell you there is. But if you ever buy that book, you see space pencil. For all the things. So. On that note, I'm sorry.
On that note, everyone, please give it up for Mr. Carey Snyder. Thank you
Just because I just put it on now, I didn't realize how much inside this mask stinks. I had a little breather there for a little bit. Like,
Smells like vodka and Viking.
vodka and shame. Sad.